If Israel attacked Iran again today, what would happen? That's what we're going to explore in this video. Without the Western spin, of course. No propaganda here, only the unbiased analysis. Iran's swift victory in the 12-day war shocked military analysts worldwide. As the defender seeking peace, Iran successfully forced Israel into accepting a ceasefire. Loads of people have put a spin on it, but analytically, Israel was the attacker, and Israel failed to achieve any of their war goals, and Israel accepted a ceasefire. So this is an effective, what you call analytically, an effective victory for Iran. Technically, it was a white peace, meaning no side really gets unconditional war goals imposed upon the other, but this is an effective Iranian win. It's a textbook defensive victory that revealed Israel's limitations against a determined regional power like Iran. Now, as tensions continue to simmer, the question remains, what would happen if Israel attacked Iran again? The answer might surprise those buying into the Western narrative. Iran has declared its air defenses fully rebuilt and operational. Just days ago, Iranian military officials confirmed all damaged systems have been rebuilt or replaced with domestically produced alternatives. The country's Bavar 373s, replacing the Russian S-300s in many places, now guard key installations, while new radar networks cover Iranian airspace more comprehensively than before the conflict that was initiated June 13th. It should be pointed out. Fortress Iran is a huge country, and complete coverage over that entire airspace is nigh on impossible. So I'm not claiming, and Iran is not claiming complete 100% airtight coverage, but effective complete coverage has been, according to the Iranian sources, has been rebuilt and implemented. And Chinese anti-air defenses rumored to have been purchased, well, they've disappeared into the shadows. No one's talking about them anymore. Their deployment is far more secretive. Another card now Iran holds in its hand, like I was imagining a Yu-Gi-Oh card hand or 5 cards. Another card that Iran holds in its hand that will keep Israel awake at night. After all, Bavar 373s and S-300s may be decent if they can be relied upon at all. Against F-35s, not really. But they can't knock out F-35s, which Israel uses as their primary air capabilities, like they did in June. Israeli F-35 Edir variants. Anyway, is the Israeli variant of the American F-35. But if Israel tries something and Iran suddenly reveals Chinese HQ-9B air defenses, Chinese air defenses that can down F-35s, that's a problem for Israel. More on that later. More on that in a later video. And I've also made videos already talking about Chinese and Iranian secretive deals that may have been confirmed, though it's the modus operandi, the method, the expected method of the Chinese state not to fully disclose the details of defense tech transfers and purchases like this one would be. But check out my YouTube channel for further details, or my TikTok page. Now, perhaps more crucially than air defenses, the intelligence capabilities of the Israeli state. Let's touch on that. Iran has spent the last month systematically dismantling Israel's intelligence network within Iran. Over 700 suspected Mossad agents have been arrested across multiple provinces. Underground drone facilities, weapon caches, and entire spy cells have been eliminated. Tehran has effectively blinded Israel's eyes and ears inside the country, not completely, but severely degraded it, as well as the state. They've severely degraded the Israeli state's intelligence capabilities, as well as the fact that the Israeli state itself had to cash in, had to burn some bridges when they carried out those effective sabotage attempts on Iranian air defenses before their June 13th attack. Sorry if if this is coming across as a bit sloppy, but as you know, I'm a one-take man. I'm a one-punch, one-take man. So you're going to have to suffer through my mess-ups. But I'm only human. We're all only human. I'm just sitting here in my box office, home office in London, giving you the analysis that I have spent time researching. But my production value is trash. Sorry. And my animation budget is 0. Sorry, not sorry. Because I haven't invested. Anyway, most importantly, the final point I want to mention. We've talked about intelligence. We've talked about anti-air capabilities. Here's the most important, arguably, facet of what would happen if Israel attacked again? Iran barely unleashed its true arsenal of missiles during the 12-day war. The conflict ended just as Tehran began deploying most of its advanced hypersonic missiles. Fatah 1's Khaybar Shekans or Khorramshahs, the deadly ghost missiles Khaybar Shekans that penetrate Israel's 5-tier air defenses with long-range precision strikes that reached deep into Israeli territory, including Tel Aviv, the cultural capital. All of that was just being deployed near the end, because for Iran, remember, their war stance is one of a protracted conflict being beneficial to them as far as them being capable, right? Israel relies on huge alpha damage, meaning initial strike damage, and then it relies on a quick end to the conflict. Similar to the 6-day war, where they completely wrecked, ruffled, stomped their Arab neighbors and then called it a day or called it 6 days. Here, 12 days, they've already gone double this time, I suppose, and they failed to achieve what they wanted within those 12 days, so they have to call it quits. Whereas Iran was like, bro, are you giving up now? I'm just getting warmed up. I've got better hypersonics in the back. I'm just bringing them out now, and you're calling it quits. That was the Iranian situation, right? Very worrying for Israel. Military experts noted Iran's success rate for missile penetration dramatically improved in the war's final days, suggesting two things: more powerful, more capable of dodging interceptors, more capable missiles were being used by Iran, and the fact suggesting that Israeli stockpiles of interceptor missiles were running out. They were just getting warmed up, guys, as Israel was getting exhausted. Many were saying during those 12 days, Iran is running out of missiles, running out of launchers. If you somehow find the stamina to scroll on my TikTok page all the way back to literally during the conflict, the 12-day war, I made my analysis clear that they were holding back because in the end, Iran wanted peace. Iran's restraint was strategic. It wasn't weakness. It was strategic restraint, strategic patience. Having demonstrated the ability to strike Israeli cities while maintaining defensive positioning, Iran holds the moral, in terms of diplomatic view, and the strategic, militarily, high ground. Right? Internationally, they're like, we're the defenders, we're not overstepping, we're not escalating this fight, yet we're being punched in the face repeatedly. Well, guess what? We can punch back. This isn't occupied Palestine, right? A second Israeli attack would paint Israel, therefore, as a clear aggressor, again, potentially triggering even worse, broader international regional consequences for them. I said international regional the wrong way around there. Anyway, notably, a second strike would result in further drifting of Arab states under America's influence away from supporting Israel. They already, by and large, abandoned the Israeli cry, the Israeli plea for help during this time. The Arab states, Turkey, they were all very vocally supporting Iran. Now, I understand. It's easy to be emotional here, not analytical, and say, wow, Mahfouz, you know that, Jordan was helping, Saudi was helping intercept these missiles. They were giving access to Israeli fighter jets over certain airspace, like the Iraqi territories that are still under government control or not, still under American control. There was a lot of actually alignment of the Arab states with Israel. Yeah, I understand where you're coming from, but you have to understand where they're starting, say a year ago, 5 years ago, versus where they are now, the Arab states. The trajectory is moving away from supporting Israel. You have these Arab states moving out from under America's sphere of influence, and you have America moving out of the Middle East, leaving Israel more and more isolated. So I'm talking trajectory here. I'm talking Saudi Arabia for the first time in 7 years sitting down with Iran, mediated by China, and working on a trilateral agreement. I'm talking about Qatar publicly, openly saying Iran is a brother nation, is a sister nation, excuse me. I'm talking about Turkey, NATO, within NATO, Turkey, condemning Israel, not condemning Iran, which is very different from the Western world, right? The comparisons are stark. Israel's interceptor stockpiles are depleted, Iran's defenses are strengthened, Mossad networks are compromised, and Tehran's most powerful weapons were unused. Israel is losing even Western allies, while Iran is finding voices of support even amongst America-aligned nations like Qatar and Turkey and UAE, and China and Russia. Of course, they're already on Iran's side. Any second round would find Israel facing a more prepared Iran.